Good evening and welcome to the Fredonia Central School District Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, September 21st, 2021. If everyone would please stand and join me with a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Over the past couple weeks, the Fredonia Central School District has lost two individuals who have had an impact on our district. And we just want to take a moment of silence for Mary Ellen Eppolito and also for Elizabeth Abram. So if we could just take a moment of silence, please. Thank you. So we have a proposed consent agenda, and the adoption of the consent agenda upon a motion and a second and an affirmative vote by members present approves each and every item so designated. However, prior to the adoption of the consent agenda, any board member may remove any item from the consent agenda. This item will then come up for discussion as part of the regular agenda. So we have the consent agenda. If we could have a motion to bring that forward with one modification here. We're looking at item 6B2, and we're just going to table that one item. That was part of the consent agenda, but we just want to hold off on voting on that for this meeting. So it is... The consent agenda includes items for items 6 and 7 except 6A. So if I could have a motion for that agenda, please.
So moved.
Mr. Hawk, and a second.
Second.
Ms. Gullo, thank you.
I just want to clarify very quickly. I apologize for needing to table that item. This is not problematic in any way. It is just about the credit hours earned and the payment for those credit hours. So there's nothing more to it than just a little bit of bookkeeping, and we just wanted to make sure we were completely accurate before we move forward. So there's nothing else in the mix here other than potentially a little clerical work around the credit hours earned prior to coming to Fredonia.
So where we're at is these were changes to a prior approval.
Yep.
And we didn't want to have to correct them and then correct them a third time.
Again.
So rather than
That is correct.
Rather than moving forward with that, we decided to hold off on that. So, is everybody okay with the consent agenda, leaving everything as is? Nobody wanted to pull anything out? We're all good? Okay. So, everyone in favor of the consent agenda as discussed, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Great. Okay, so we have a time to hear from the public. We're all okay? Okay, thank you. So we have minutes from the last meeting. Can I have, from September 7th, can I have a motion to bring that to the floor, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Hahn. And a second.
Second.
Mr. Johnston. Any corrections, questions, concerns on that? Okay, all those in favor of approving those minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Next, we have an approval of a contract between the district and BOCES for a classroom at the main campus. from July 1st to June 30th. Can I have a motion to bring that to the floor, please?
So moved.
Ms. Gallo. And a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Aaron. Any questions on that? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We next have the addendum item. We have we're awarding some bids here for supplies for musical instruments. Can I have a motion to bring that to the floor, please?
So moved.
Ms. Gallo. And a second?
Second.
Mr. Hawk. Any questions on that? Mr. Forbes, we've got three items here, three amounts to three different places. The number of bids that came back in
It's
is
6 or 7 altogether, but they don't all bid on all the same things.
right, but we're still getting enough
Oh, yeah.
bids coming in that it's competitive.
Yep.
Okay,
And these
great.
were reviewed by Andy Bennett also before we compiled the list.
That's good. Yeah, okay. Any questions on that? Any additional questions? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Next, we have the appointment of personnel to a probationary position for Michael Prisbison. If I could have a motion to bring that to the floor, please.
So moved.
Mr. Johnston, and a second?
Second.
Ms. Gallo. Any questions on that? No? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Mr. Ziliaks, I believe that you are next. If I can get to my pages, because we have a considerable amount within consent tonight.
Yep, absolutely. So if you see behind me here, I just want to remind people that from district office, and again, as you know, one of our core beliefs is around communication. And this was something we started last year, is a Monday update from district office. And this continues again this year in the form of what we call a s'more. So again, this is an effort for district office to reach out not only internally within the district, but also to the community, and just give you a quick heads up and update on some things that are happening in an effort to really communicate. I usually make a video, or at moments we have another faculty and staff involved, or some students involved in that, but I've been doing them more recently. And we also like to give thanks in this. And my video this week is about our mission, which I'll touch on in a minute. But one of the things we asked all of our classroom teachers to do this week was, or in the first 2 weeks of school, is somehow connect our mission, vision, and core beliefs into a lesson, or make them part of a discussion in class. And we appreciate everybody doing that. We also want to thank our school nurses who have been extremely busy to start the school year, and they've been doing a great job, so thank you to them. We also want to thank our bus company for student. As you might have noticed in the news, there is currently a bus driver shortage, and we appreciate everything they have done to allow us to open on time. And although there have been a few glitches in our system with some of the afternoon elementary runs, which we have ironed out, and I think we're in a good place now. Also, no fault of her student, but internally we've also been working on adjusting our morning drop-off for the middle school and high school. That's been interesting and not as smooth as we would have liked. So we have a third iteration of our plan that we're going to try tomorrow. If you're listening, please know that every parent should have an email as well as a voicemail out about that. And we are going to do our best to adjust and adapt once again, to try to make this work for all involved. I also wanted to note here that we thank Mr. Tonelli, our high school assistant principal. This would be the last board meeting where he will continue to be employed as he's moving on as principal of Cassadaga Valley, and we certainly wish him well. We also want to note, this is National Hispanic Heritage Month. As you know, we have many families who would connect to this month and this celebration, and we want to recognize that, and we'll continue to have articles attached to the SMORE that connect to Hispanic heritage and their contributions to our culture, the United States, and our history. And we are certainly proud to have those families here in our district as well. If you scroll down a little bit, Christine, you get to the part about our mission. And again, this is just an example from Mrs. Putnam's classroom of a group of students engaging in activity attached to our mission. Again, our mission is a place of learning and exploring where individuals become their greatest selves. And in the video for this week, I just go through and reiterate that mission is really about our purpose, and really talks about the question behind what we're doing on a daily basis in our district. And I also talk a little bit about some of those key terms: learning, exploring, individual, and greatest selves, as all being an important part of what's happening in the district now. If you've been in the building, you've probably noticed we have all kinds of posters up around the building to highlight our mission, vision, and core beliefs. But this week we spent focusing on the mission a little bit, and really answering the question, why do we exist as a school district? And I think this sentence sums up why we exist, and also what we see playing out within our buildings, whether it's in the classroom or beyond, on a daily basis in our district. I'm thinking Darren might touch on homecoming a little bit in his update, but we're excited to have a variety of events over the course of this week into the weekend, and we hope that our community and our students enjoy that event as well. So again, for those parents who drop off in the morning, we apologize for some of the glitches we've been experiencing. The bottom line is that we have far more parent, guardian, family vehicles coming onto the property each morning than we ever have before, I'd be comfortable saying. And it's really just about volume of cars arriving. And I do understand that many parents, guardians are hesitant to put their son or daughter on a bus with all that is happening with COVID. But it is really a result of that increase in parent vehicles being on campus. And again, certainly we don't fault anybody for that, but it is taking us some time to work through. So tomorrow, the Plan C, or Plan 3, which some people like to say, is that all buses will be in the front of our main campus, both in the high school loop and the events center entrance, and all of our parent drop-offs will be in the back. And we will have 2 different loops rotating through for that, and we're optimistic that this will greatly improve the time it takes to get in and out with your sons and daughters. So thank you for your patience, and we will continue to adjust and adapt as needed. So for our update tonight, that is really all I have. Any questions or comments? Yes?
Thank you for figuring out this situation, and I think that's a good new idea, because we've been a little concerned about the way the students are crossing from their cars while the cars are dropping off, and it just feels a little dangerous.
Yep.
So hopefully this new way is going to work out.
Yep. And this was absolutely a team effort with Mr. Paschke, Mrs. Troutman, Tim Kalkemeyer, our resource officer, as well as a few of our custodians who have been out trying to help direct traffic a little bit. So we came together today and tried to get our head around this and make a logical decision, although it is possible that there will continue to be some glitches. And I think it really just gets back again to the volume of vehicles, and there may not be a way for it to be perfect, so we're shooting for improvement at this time. So, I appreciate everybody being patient with what's been happening.
We should probably note also that the Route 20 is scheduled to be paved on Friday from about 1,000 feet from our driveway to Clinton. So that may cause some additional challenges because they're going to be one-lane operation, so one day paving, but that'll be Friday. Weather permitting.
So not so helpful on the timing there, but we will make it work as best we can.
Great. Great, thank you, Mr. Zoliak.
Sure.
So, lastly, we have hearing from the public again. I don't, is there anyone who would like to speak to the board? No?
I'm just here to listen.
Okay, great. So the next regular Board of Education meeting will be in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. October 12th, 2021, 6 o'clock, right here in the high school library. I would also, to add on to your comments about our mission statement, earlier tonight we paid respects to 2 individuals who had worked at our district, and come to find out that more than one board member has been influenced by one of these individuals, and maybe more, I don't know, and maybe somebody else in the room has been influenced by these people. But I will tell you this, back when I was involved in this individual, I don't think that they would have thought in their wildest dreams that they would be influencing the future Board of Education president. And it just goes to remind everyone in this room, in this district, that everyone has an impact, and they have an influence on our students, on everyone else, in expecting excellence towards becoming our greatest selves. And it's interesting how 2 members of the board had been involved in that. And I just remind all of our teachers, all of our employees, that you may not expect it from that one first grader who doesn't show a lot of promise, but you just never know, I guess. And it is towards creating our greatest selves. That's what I like about the mission statement, is greatest selves. So, with that, Mr. Johnson, do you have anything to add?
I'd just like to go back to the beginning and acknowledge Mr. Tonelli. All I heard was positive things about his tenure at the school, and I wish him well.
Yeah, thank you. Ms. Gullo?
Yeah, I would say the same. Everybody always had positive things about, I never heard anything other than great things about him. So wishing him well, and then just having had a chance to say thanks to everyone for back to school. And also regarding the drop-off situation, you know, I feel like people are patient, and I hope that they are. But, you know, thank you for keep trying new things, and we'll just keep trying something till it works. So thank you for going back to the drawing board a few times.
Patience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Hawk?
A lot of positive energy out there from parents and kids alike to being back in school and, you know, having 5 days a week and having a respite of, you know, the type of learning they went through for a year and a half behind them. So
Yep.
it's a nice piece, and thank you to everybody
It is.
that's been involved.
It is, and it's taken a team to bring this all back together, and I appreciate everybody in the team. Mr. Marshall?
I would also like to thank Mr. Tonelli for his service and time here. Again, positive things, nothing but. And then to thank everyone involved in trying to make the new drop-off happen. I think this iteration has the most promise, as someone who drops their children off, and I think this one's gonna work. But I would also like to encourage the public and my wife to remain patient. That's it.
That is helpful, yes. Ms. Hahn?
Godspeed to Mr. Tonelli, and I would like to commend our community because I've been at a couple of sporting events and we have very nice fans, not like you read about parents yelling at people. I don't see any of that. So that's wonderful. And I'm looking forward to all the homecoming events next weekend. So thank you to everyone.
Yeah. We'll try this one. Ms. Wright?
All right. So we've been working really hard with our curriculum council and our instructional leaders, and we're working really hard to align that with our mission vision as well as the work of our DSIP. So part of what we have to do with our DSIP and ESIP plans that I know Ms. Piper has worked so hard on and led the charge with is to make sure that we're aligning with that as well. So the work of curriculum council takes that into consideration and feeds into it so that all of our parts are moving together, so that we have our mission, vision, and core beliefs. We have our DSIP plan, we have our goals, and we're coming together to make sure that all of those are really dovetailing as we meet state standards. So it's a lot of work as far as self-examination and looking and discovery. We want to make sure that we're, aligning ourselves with our vision statement. Are we truly creating innovative pathways? Are we exploring? Is it dynamic? Things of that nature. So that's the work we've been doing, and Curriculum Council met over the summer. In a summer summit, and we then plotted out what we want to do. And what I really commend the entire group for is that they really felt the need to front load, to say rather than once a month throughout the school year, if we really want to get this work off the ground, let's do the heavy lift in the fall. So we've met every Tuesday in September, and then we're gonna start stretching those meetings out throughout the year farther. But I really commend the group at their wanting to attack this early, really hit it head on, especially in light of returning from COVID and things like that. So I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to them. So that's really the main focus we've been working on in curriculum currently. So that's that. Thank you to all the admin for their participation on that, and it's really a team effort. It's really great to be part of that team.
Great. Mr. Paskey, is anything going on in the high school these days?
No, nothing. Chaos, I guess.
I don't know about that.
We have a lot going on. First off,
Yes.
I'd also like to acknowledge Ron Tonelli, fantastic assistant principal, moving on to Casadega to be their principal. He has been a great team member here, and just again, all positives, nothing negative I could even dream up about the guy. So he's been fantastic. Many thanks to him, and he will be missed. We are moving forward with our search for his replacement. The seat's not even vacated yet. If they say that it's still warm, it's not vacated, but we are looking for a strong replacement for him. We have homecoming coming up this weekend. Friday, we have our spirit days throughout the week. Kids are dressing up, having fun at school, enjoying all of our spirit-themed days. Obviously, Friday is Hillbilly Day, and we'll be dressing up as orange and black and hillbillies and having fun. I've got to pull out the orange and black striped trousers again. It'll be fun. We've got our homecoming parade Friday. There's a lineup down near the park. We're not exactly sure because there's all the construction downtown. So we're working out exactly where we're going to be, probably closer to Center Street. The one-way section of Center Street is probably where we're going to be lining up. And that's around 5:50 for lineup. We're going to be stepping off around 6:20, we're thinking, for the parade, heading down to the Orange Bowl for our parade. I have to thank the village board and our mayor for helping us out with getting that set up and closing the roads. Our Fredonia Police and Fire that will be helping out as well with the safety and also with the closing of the roads. But just really a community effort to make that happen. Once we get to the field, we'll be having a pep rally outside, since we really can't cram everybody in the gym for our pep rally. We're going to do it at the field. So we've got some fun activities, minute to win it games, etc. with the kids. The band's going to be there. They're going to be marching in the parade and also playing during the pep rally. Then obviously we have the game, followed by our bonfire, and Mr. Newell will be firing up the grill. We'll be having his famous hot dogs at the bonfire afterwards. And then Saturday we'll be having an outdoor dance, weather permitting, in our breezeway courtyard here. So we're all very excited to be able to do this. And in our communication with all of the students and families. We made sure that we were hitting how our mission really plays into this and our vision, and we hit the core beliefs in it as well. And a lot of positive feedback from parents this year, just wonderful emails, just thanking us for being able to put these things out for our kids and tying it into the mission, vision, core beliefs. And again, it's a team effort. There are so many people that are making all these things come together. So I've been sharing that out to staff. I had a fantastic parent email that was so good. I'm like, I gotta share this with everybody, so we put that out to staff. Last but not least, I just want to hit, we're hitting in our weekly communication that I give to staff, I've been kind of focusing on belonging our first three weekends and tying that into our mission and vision, and how, interestingly enough, the core beliefs that we have tie in so nicely with our PRIDE acronym in the high school, and that they actually share some of the same words, but others are very similar or complement each other, and really focusing with teachers how to increase the feeling of belonging at our school. And so that's been a focus, and it's going to continue to be a focus in our weekly communications. So that's all I got right now.
Well, belonging is a good word for Spirit Week.
It is.
In Hillbilly Week. Yeah.
It is, and it's nice to see kids getting involved. I think there's a hunger for it right now, and it's certainly a lot out there for our kids to do, and they're clamoring for it. So it's good. It's a positive feeling. I echo Mr. Hawk. There's a lot of positivity right now, and just excitement to be back in person and 5 days a week, and we're offering a lot of exciting things for our kids.
Okay, so everybody's starting to get together for the parade at what time?
5:50.
5:50, and you leave at 6:20?
We believe, yes.
You believe?
We believe.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Ms. Troutman?
Yeah, our staff at the middle school has been doing some work around the mission and vision. During our first faculty meeting, we broke up into grade levels and, sorry, I'm fogging up here, I can't see you, and departments, and we really looked at the mission and vision and came up with some goals for all of them. We really talked about making sure they were measurable so that at the end of the year we can see if we achieved those. So I typed them up and shared them out with everyone, and everybody's been kind of tweaking them and looking at them, so I'm sure at some point we'll share with you all what those are. Next week is Start With Hello Week. One of the core beliefs is inclusivity, and that really hones in on that. On Monday, our staff get together and we all get noisemakers and we greet the kids right when they come in the door. The kids get a huge kick out of that. Tuesday is our smile wall, and what we do is students and adults really leave inspirational quotes for each other. They say nice things about each other just to kind of lift everybody up. Wednesday is Wear Your Favorite Shirt Day, and students are encouraged to ask their peers or adults why that shirt's favorite of theirs and what it means to them. Thursday we have a photo booth, and kids are encouraged to take a photo with a new friend. So really reaching out to others and making a new friend. And then Friday is Green Out Day. We ask all the kids to wear green in support of Sandy Hook community. And so we'll do some learning around that and how we can come together as a community to support each other. So it's a really great week, and that'll be next week. Darren mentioned Pride. We also do that at the middle school. During our opening days with the kids, we went through Pride again, what it means and how that relates to the mission and vision. Our Pride Committee, which is made up of our teachers and staff, are going to be getting together this next month. We've always done activities with the kids, but because of COVID, we kind of got away from that. And so we're hoping to be able to maybe do some modified activities with them to, again, talk about respect and integrity and all those things that are important. Our clubs are starting again at the middle school, which is so exciting for us. We have our Service Learning Club, our Supply Depot, our Student Council, and our Girls on the Run clubs up and running. So it's so great. The kids are so excited to be able to get involved in those activities. This year, Jamie and I started what we're calling a Principals Council. It's going to be at each grade level. So far, we've met with our 8th graders twice, and it's really students who want to be in leadership positions. They want to take some ownership of their school, how to make it better, how to address some concerns kids have. So we've met a couple times. The kids have some amazing ideas of what they'd like to work on. So we're going to continue that and get the other grade levels going. And then this is Spirit Week, and so the middle school is also participating in that. Every day is something different. Friday, as always, Darren always lets us join in the parade, so we'll have some middle school kids marching in the parade. We always get excited about that, throwing some candy and whatnot during that time, but it's really been, a great start to the school year.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Troutman. Ms. Farrow, you're hiding from me.
I am. I'm going to turn this off first. All right, well, I'll just give you some broad strokes. So through conversation and time that I spent in each building, I can say that the school year has definitely gotten off to a positive start. At primary and elementary, I've talked with some teachers and watched them in their assessing skills. They're developing differentiated groups for learning. And there's some whole class reading that's focusing on social emotional learning, feelings, and positive character traits with an emphasis on inclusivity and respect. At the middle school, special education staff is instrumental in supporting social skills and working with students' academic skills as we transition from a variety of non-traditional learning modes from last year to being in person this year. That's occurring at the high school as well, where our special ed teachers are providing solid student-centered support in general ed classes and resource rooms. A few of our high school students at the higher grades are putting their educational experiences to the test right now in work opportunities both in the school and in the community. So a note of thanks to Fredonia State staff who have worked with our staff to make job placements and transportation available to students involved in work-based learning. Right now we have one student, Joshua, who came here with his mom last spring when he was hired to work here in the school. He's working on the college campus. He's doing a great job and he's representing our district very pridefully. He's loving his work and the independence he's experiencing as a young adult, and likewise, our own maintenance, cafeteria, and locker stop staff are continuing to provide work opportunities for our students as well. So sincere thank you to all of those who are helping the kids grow and discover their skills and abilities outside of the classroom. So our related services staff also are providing therapy services to all students after having taken the time the first couple of weeks of school to screen our new students and work with their colleagues to develop their schedules. And our student support team is working diligently to ensure that all students are finding our school to be a place where they are comfortable and connected. That's it.
That's all?
That's all I've got.
Thank you.
Thank you. So your students, my guess is that they're getting a lot of emotional support outside of the classroom where they're being included in the community.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's maybe more so than the classroom? Maybe that's a tough question to answer, but maybe it's a total package.
I think it's a total package. I think
Yeah.
those classroom experiences are really transitioning well into the community, and it's just a really nice fit, what we've been able to send our students off to, so.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Ms. Piper?
Kudos to what's happening around the district. This is awesome. I was fun hearing and listening to what's going on in the other buildings, so that's awesome. WELAC is wonderful. Looking at the vision statement and thinking about the phrase of partnership and children in the community, I really think a lot about WELAC and the partnerships that we have with our families and our parents. They have been wonderful. We had 100% parent participation in our visitations. The parents felt wonderful coming into WELAC, seeing the classrooms, bringing their children in to meet the teachers. It just really is a great tradition that we do, and I think really helps that bond with parents to know what an important piece they are, especially in the early learning years with their children, and that partnership continues. Also thinking about the place of learning and exploring, if any of you have an opportunity to come by Wheelock and see our outdoor classroom, I cannot think of a better picture, and I sent some to Christine today to put on social media, than our outdoor classroom. You'll have kids playing drums made out of tree stumps and sticks. You have kids with tires. It's just such a place of learning, and we have our own little zoo. We have a turtle out there, we have a guinea pig outside, we have a tarantula, believe it or not, in a cage. In a cage, but it just is such a great place for learning and exploring, and it's fun to be out there and watch the kids really just dig deep. We just found out we're getting a donation, and I'll tell you when and where, of a pile of dirt, which doesn't sound exciting to many people, but for pre-K and kindergarten students, we're super excited to be able to be outside and have them dig in the dirt. Looking at having all children feel valued, we've gotten the Parents as Teachers program up and running. Allison Gallardo is wonderful. She's the hire from BOCES. It's working out of Wheelock. She's already connected. I think she's at the 7 families that have accepted participation in the program. And again, that's another partnership where she's going into the homes, working with families, and having them feel valued members and part of our school community. So that is working out wonderfully as well. And I have a little story I want to share, because I think another part of really making sure all children feel valued that we don't often talk about except for during this week of appreciation is our teacher aides. I was privy to an event yesterday as I was going through Wheelock, and this aide didn't realize that I was nearby, but the work that they do at the ground level with children. We have a little guy that's trying to get potty trained. It happens at Wheelock, it happens. And has some special needs and was having a little bit of difficulty. This aide did not know that I was there, listening, paying attention. She kept this child so positively engaged, asking about different farm animals, zoo animals, laughing with him. What could have been, and the child was at first kicking and screaming, not wanting to go about it, ended up in laughter and joy and such a positive event. It touched me to the soul. And not 10 minutes later, I see her with another student coercing him out of the gym. Didn't want to leave the gym. When you're 5, gym is a special place, but was able to, in a very positive, joyful way, that made it such a great event for our students. And it just happens daily. They're at the ground level, but they help make Wheelock because of the work that they do with the kids. So just have to put a shout out to our teacher aides.
Yeah.
One who's sitting over here is pretty wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I appreciate that story. Don't ever hesitate to share that with us, because it's what makes Wheelock, it's what makes Fredonia.
Absolutely.
And we can't get enough of those stories. Thank you.
It's pretty wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so the board.
Can I jump in?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
And John Forrest, did you have anything you wanted to share this evening? But
I
also have some things from Mr. Drollinger, but
yeah.
John.
Just quickly, we're a couple weeks into a tax collection, and as you may recall, this is the first time we're using the energy lockbox. For the most part, that's gone good. A couple of growing pains is I'm learning their system, and they're learning what we need to do to tie this all together. Also, the first time as the district direct contact with the taxpayers, because usually we've had a collector do that. So I've had the opportunity to speak to about 10 or 12 people a day. Most of them are positive about the taxes, and it's also helped me to learn what we need to do on next year's billing, because there's been a lot of similar questions. So we can add that language next year to help clarify it. But overall, it's going well, and just a reminder that the penalty-free period concludes on October 1st.
Yeah. So for everybody who complains about taxes, you did remind them it's a 0% increase from last year, right?
We've talked about that, and we've had some interesting takes on what the difference would be having a collector here versus a lockbox. So it's been okay. Nobody's been really irate. Just a couple of comments.
Good. Well, I'd also like to think that with all the positive things coming out of the district, that people understand that it's going for very, very good use. That's one of the most important things that our district does. So, great.
Mr. Jollinger couldn't be here tonight due to a last-minute childcare issue, but he wanted to pass along a couple things. Again, in terms of our mission, a place of learning, Mr. Jollinger wanted to highlight Ms. Putnam's Caterpillar project, which then becomes a butterfly project. And they were released into the wild this week, and he just mentioned that the students really enjoy observing that process and really recording some of their observations, and it really is an engaging learning experience for students. In terms of our vision, again, those global educational experiences. In Ms. McAfee's class this week, they connected by video conference with a 4th grade class in Dunkirk and completed a mystery numbers challenge. You know, there's nothing wrong with a little healthy competition between Fredonia and Dunkirk. And of course, it ended in a tie. And of course, all the students wanted to reschedule another match because a tie didn't sit well with some people in the class. So that's being scheduled. Also, in terms of core beliefs, inclusivity, Mr. Jollinger is visiting all first grade classrooms and reading the book entitled All Are Welcome, which certainly ties into the inclusive education piece. And he's also instituted a program this year called Principals Pals, which gives students an opportunity to have lunch with him who have demonstrated growth and learning from a mistake. Lastly, again, another core belief, diversity. We welcomed a new Pakistani family to the district over the last week, and the parents have volunteered to speak to our students about their culture, and they are in the process of finding a date for that. So, mission, vision, core beliefs is aligned well at the elementary school as well.
Great. And I apologize, I didn't include you either. Do you have anything to add to this slide?
I do not.
You do not? Okay. I apologize for excluding you earlier.
Not very mission vision.
Sorry.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay, so we expect to enter into executive session to discuss the evaluation of the superintendent. It's just a normal annual evaluation. So if I could get a motion to enter into executive session. Ms. Gullo, and a second on that.
Second.
Mr. Marshall? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are in executive session at 6:45. Thank you, everyone, and